Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day, and sorry it's been a little minute since I uploaded. However, season 3 of Apex is now out and I'll be uploading some more videos for you this week, and I've just got a pro license to the video editing software that I use, so hopefully they'll be in slightly better quality as well, 1080p and 60 frames per second. Anyway, enough of the boring stuff. This is my first win on Season 3. I got it the day the Season 3 map came out. That's not some weird flex, by the way. It's just I left it a few days to upload because I wasn't feeding the map all the new gameplay meta straight away. And I wanted to play out a large quantity of the new season before I actually uploaded this video and gave you guys some of my thoughts around it. I didn't want to go in with the original negative feelings I had towards it, because I knew that if I played it a bit more, I'd establish whether they were genuinely negative thoughts or whether I was just being averse to change. And I think there's been a touch of that in the community in general. I think some of the people that had problems with the map originally, or the new weapons originally, as you can see me choke a massive gunfight in the background, I've noticed a lot of like the YouTubers, the bigger YouTubers, and the Twitch streamers have somewhat softened their stance on the new season as well. Now, it's not to say that it isn't without problems, but it probably wasn't quite as bad as people were thinking in the first few days. That said, I have written down some of my likes and dislikes about the new map, new season, and I'm going to go over them with you now throughout the gameplay in the background. And I'll probably expand and elaborate on some of those changes in the coming videos over the week. But I'm going to start with the positives. So the look, the design, in terms of visual design, and the meta of the new map is great. Like, it looks fantastic. The colours are vibrant. There's some really nice different points of interest, and there is some really good spaces to fight in. So that's one positive of the new place. There's some great landing locations. There's some great loot locations, and the what do they call them, cargo bots, I think they are now, the old like loot ticks. They're really good. You know, some of it's real good fun. So yeah, that's one positive. Some of the weapon balancing, some of the new hop-ups are great. The anvil rounds for the R301 and the flatline are fantastic additions. They make those guns, I'd say, more viable. I think the flatline has become viable since they buffed it in the last update, but it gives them a bit of it gives them a slightly more diversity, and it's something you definitely need on this new map, and I'll come to that in a minute. The scout hop up, actually it's the scout and the Eva 8 hop up. The double tap is great. That weapon now is super viable and possibly one of my new favorites, if not my new favorite. Like I've said before, some of those points of interest are great. Capital City, for example, is very much one of them. It seems to have become the new Skull Town to a certain extent, and it's certainly a place to land when you want early game action. Again, that's something I'll come to in a minute. I've written down here flatline R301, but I've just been over that. But the flatline itself seems to be the most consistent assault rifle for me at the moment. 301 not far behind. The R99, which was such a big part of season 1 and 2, had taken a nerf, but that's still gonna be the go-to weapon up close and at medium range. They nerfed the recoil on it, but it's still super controllable. We'll go straight up. So if you get in the training ground and practice hitting those targets for a little while, I'm sure you'll be able to master it yourself as well. I love the fact that they added recharge all your shields when you do a finisher for every colour of shield now. So if you remember in season 1 and 2, if you had the gold shield and you did a finisher, it automatically replenished your shield. That actually happens now with any colour, any level of shield, so whether it be white, purple, gold or blue. I don't know why I left blue until the end, but you get my point. What the gold shield now does is that became the gold bag, so you get faster heal times, and then the gold bag became that's so if you rezzed a downed teammate, so not a finished but a downed teammate, they came back with greater energy. So they came back with 60% of their health as opposed to 30% as it was in the old gameplay. So I really love those changes. I think they really add a different variation to how the body shields work. And that's all I've got to say on the positives at the moment. The cool gameplay, I mean, that's still a positive. The reason a lot of people flocked to Apex is the core gameplay was great, and it still is. Unfortunately, some of that core gameplay has been somewhat negated with the new changes, and I'll come to that now. So I've written down here the map. Like I said, visually looks fantastic, but it's big. Now, I've heard anything from 1.5 to not much bigger to it's the same size with regards to what the devs and what YouTubers and what people have said. I believe the most accurate representation is this map is 1.5 times bigger than the original map, and you certainly feel it, especially with those 60 players in the game. It's become a little better recently because people have found out their I guess habits and places to land, and now you can land at, like I said earlier, Capital City for example, and you can land there and you can get action. However, the mid-game lull, as you're seeing in the background to some extent, can be quite painful at times. It's quite boring, it's quite slow. There's vast open spaces on the new map that they've put in, I believe, to try and promote more longer range engagements, but that leads to a second problem. There is a lot of people that are sitting on hillsides, not really doing much, almost playing as if they're playing ranked gameplay and just sniping and engaging in a third party, which for the record I have no issue with. I think the third party element of this game is what makes it part of what it is. I know some people have some issues with it, but I think it's actually a valuable element to the game. But anyway, there's an element of, in this season, there's an element of people sitting on grey, dark, high up places, of which there are many in this map, and just sniping with the longbow, and more irritatingly, the new charge rifle. And that's one of my dislikes as well. That new charge rifle needs to get nerfed, or just, frankly, just needs to go. It's an irritating gun. It is promoting this type of gameplay from certain members of the community. I guess probably the more casual players, but you know, whatever, it's still promoting the gameplay, the sort of game style, and it just needs to have some sort of balance, because it does ruin the flow of a game that already is a little fragmented in terms of flow because of the large open spaces. The loot spawn rate is not good. It is too sparse. It feels too sparse. It feels like there's almost the same amount of loot in this map as there is in Kings Canyon, but there's a larger space, and not more people, obviously, but because there's more space, that you'll find packs of like ammo, for example, when you land, and not a gun in the same room, or it seems to be some sort of body shield amnesty sometimes, where you can't find a body shield and things like that. I think they need to increase the loot spawn just a touch, because I mean, there's 4 squads left, and my ammo count in the energy rifle, which I'm poorly shooting in the background, side note, I've adjusted my settings recently, and actually that's improved massively. But anyway, I only have 100 and whatever rounds at the moment. That's unheard of. That would have been unheard of, even I guess for energy ammo in Kings Canyon. I would still be at end game with 200 plus most of the time. Yeah, it's just so hard to come by, and I don't just mean energy ammo. In fact, if anything, that seems to be the one thing that they've increased massively. It's everything. There doesn't seem to be the same, not the same amount, because I think it is the same amount, but it seems to be so so widely dispersed that you struggle to find a lot of the information, a lot of the guns, a lot of the ammo that you need in order to have entertaining, fast-paced gameplay. And my last gripe, this isn't a new Season 3 thing. If you're on my team and you go down, I know you go down. Spamming the enemy is here button, the ping button, is, excuse the French, effing irritating. Don't do it. Because a lot of the time, I like to hear where my opponents come from. If there's another gripe in a second. I like to hear where my opponents are coming from. If you're spamming that button, it cuts down some of that noise. It doesn't help. I know you're down. I'll come and get you if I can. If I can't, that's the way the game goes. Anyway, that's just that little side note. Lastly, like I said, the sound seems to be a little messed up for this season. I don't know if it's intentional, but some sound effects aren't playing properly. Footsteps seem to come and go. I know that was a problem for Season 2. It seems to still be a problem for Season 3. And there's a lot of ambient sound on the map. There's a lot of... So, Crypto's drone, which is super irritating, but, you know, not the end of the world. I don't think it's game-breaking like the charge rifle. But, like, it makes a lot of noise. And then you've got the cargo bots, which make noise. And then the train makes a noise. And then the ambient sounds of the actual map make a noise. And all that combined make it so you can't actually hear things sometimes. And I think that's actually a bit of a problem. I think a lot of the reason... one of the ways to speed up gameplay as set for like taking out the large open expanses would be to make it so you can actually hear the enemy rocking up on you. At the moment, you know, you're in these long drawn out gunfights because they're so long range. You can't hear things. You can't hear people creeping up on you, and it's a bit of a problem. And I think in order to actually speed things up, that will be a good change that they can make. Anyway, I've actually managed to talk throughout the length of the video. I haven't done this before. It's something new. Hopefully I can get some live comms for you in the coming weeks. I've got a nice 14 kill gameplay coming up for you this week, which is my highest so far. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you understand some of my hopes and thoughts, and I hope to see you in the coming vids. Please do drop a like, favourite and subscribe, and I'm out.